Hello, hello, I'm here. My stream starts on the clock at 5 o'clock, so I am not late. One moment. Hello. I'm looking at the timestamps right now, and it is absolutely exactly 5 o'clock. So y'all can chill. Finally, hello. How are you all doing? 1 minute late. Okay, fine. My tea was taking a little bit longer to for the water to heat up, so. How's everyone doing? Everyone having a good Tuesday or Wednesday if you're in the future, I suppose. Let me remove some of these banners that are. If you haven't checked in yet, please do so. Let me go post this link in chat. It's bad? It's a bad day? It happens sometimes. If you were in my stream yesterday, you would know that throughout the entire day, or throughout the entire stream, I had construction right outside my window, which was super fun. That construction proceeded until 3 in the morning. I guess there was like an emergency gas line replacement or something. I have no clue. But yeah, so it got even louder after the stream ended. In case you were wondering. Yeah. If you're joining us for the first time today, hello. My name is Paul. I'm a coach at Major League Hacking. I've been around for I don't know, like 3 or 4 years at this point, but I've been in the hackathon community since like 2017. So I'm old. That's fine. And we're building Infinite Craft. If you've never played Infinite Craft, it's basically a game. It's a riff off of like an old game where you would take stuff, put stuff together. Hold on, wait, it's gonna be mad at me. Okay. You would take stuff, fire plus water equals steam, pottery plus steam equals teapot, and you can kind of combine stuff and build stuff together. And in the back end, this uses generative AI. Whenever there's two things that have never been combined before, it says, "Hey, what is the combination of this plus this?" And then from there, we figure out, whatchamacallit. We figure out teapot plus sculpture is just tea. Haunted house plus tea is just a ghost. Dang. You figure out what the combination is. Ideally, it would be kind of fun to get like a whatchamacallit, a first find. But I feel like I have to kind of dig for that. And I don't think the stream should be just me playing with this to figure out stuff. Lightning plus art. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. My goal last stream was to get hackathon on the screen. And I think that I think we might be able to get there. But we'll kind of keep this off on the side. In the last stream, I was just kind of having this over in the corner while we're doing things, and then while we're waiting for something to like run or like something's being generated, we just sat there and dragged stuff together. It was fun. The twist that we're doing though with our version here, and let me go open up the So the twist that we're doing here, because to make it kind of fun, is we're going to make it more technology focused. So the idea is we're going to start off with like the 6, basic data types in C, and just see what those combine to. And so it might be, you take 2 languages, you combine them, you get another language, that sort of idea. I don't know, it just felt like a fun way to learn how to build something like this, and then go off and make it kind of our own. And I've thought that it would be a good way of kind of highlighting stuff. Yesterday, we found a cool theme to it, maybe coding related. Combine 2 things into one new thing, and use generative AI to build unknown combinations. We built it out using Fast API, and then for the generative AI stuff, we used 2 different approaches. We used Google Gemini, and with that, we used structured outputs, which I'll show very briefly, just to make our lives a little bit easier. And then also, we use DigitalOcean's gradient AI agents to spin it up even faster and not need to make calls to Gemini. We just set up a little AI agent on DigitalOcean, and it made our lives a lot. Well, it sped things up a lot, and also costs a lot less money, which is always a plus. If you would like to follow along, I do have a fun link for all of you. HTTPS mlh.link/DigitalOcean. Boo. If you go to that link, and I'm going to hide that little part there. Also, I have music playing this time that isn't just like the stock music in the StreamYard here. Tell me if it is too loud, but I figured it might be a nice change of pace from the standard library of like 6 different songs I have on StreamYard. But if I go mlh.link/DigitalOcean. Also, shout out if you know what this music is from. You're a real one, and you're super cool. I don't make the rules. That's just the truth. So if you go through this link, you actually get $200 of credit that you can use through DigitalOcean, and that's what we're using today. Let me quickly go log back into my account here. One moment. Need to go pull up a password. Alrighty. Now I gotta go find an email. 1 second. Also, everyone say hello to my neighbors upstairs. With a dope theme. It is a very specific thing, though. It's extremely specific. Just made an account with DigitalOcean. Awesome. Okay. So, just to kind of highlight where we're at in terms of building out things. So our first thing that we did yesterday was we built out a endpoint that used Gemini. Basically, we had a little prompt here. You are a game engine for a crafting game. The theme of the game is technology and programming. The elements are all related to that. Give 2 elements, create a single new element that results from combining them. Do your best to create a new element instead of providing the same element as the inputs. Creates a combination of the two. Yada, yada, yada. And we use the Gemini we use the Google's Gen AI library, specifying that we would like the Gemini's 2.0 Flash model to do this. We also then specified that we'd like our result to be a JSON. So we said that we would like a JSON from it, so we don't need to say, hey, make a JSON for us. It makes our lives a little bit easier. And then we have this model JSON schema here, which, as you can see, is just the item that it created and the emoji, which is basically magic that it is able to take all that and put it in there. And then we just return one of these objects here. This combined JSON results, it returns the object hunky-dory. And it works remarkably well. But it also has to reach out to Gemini. You have to get a Gemini API key. I know those are kind of in hot demand these days. And so one of the alternatives that we were looking at was using DigitalOcean's gradient AI. If you go over to their agent platform here, yours won't look like mine because I built an agent yesterday, but otherwise you would hit create agent. And I built an agent. Let's see, do I have settings here? Yeah. Same prompt, although I did have to specify the JSON, provide your form in the JSON with no additional text. The JSON should be item string, emoji string. How do we get the credits for DigitalOcean if we're starting with you today? So the fun, not so fun thing with DigitalOcean is you do need to add a credit card or some form of card to your account in order to use it. As you can see here, when I did add my card, which I did off stream because I don't want my credit card to be leaked on the internet, that'd be fun. It then gives me this, your credits are active, the credits expires in 60 days, credit remaining, $200. And yeah. And in theory, and in theory, you don't, you do your best to not spend all that. It's okay, I don't mind. But isn't there a code? Yes, it's not a code, but if you go to that link and you go and click the MLH DigitalOcean sign up, head over to there, click this. It'll take you to a page here that says, you've been invited to DigitalOcean. Sign up and get a $200 credit, 60-day credit to your spend at $25, blah, blah, blah. And that's how you get the credit. The credit card is critical. Yes, you do need to add the credit card. I was confused too, and it's nowhere does it say you need to add a credit card, and I was very confused. But then when you go to deploy a model, it's like, hey, you don't have billing, and then you go ahead and do that. It does do like a charge on your account to make sure that your card is a real card. So it charges somewhere between like $10 or so, and then it gets refunded back to your card. These are the joys of a large platform that doesn't want a bunch of people who just happen to find this link to then spin up a bunch of like bots all using $200 on fake accounts. I get it. I truly do get it, but it does make things a little bit annoying when you're trying to be like, hey, here's how you get set up. All right. But I've been using DigitalOcean for years. It's a great platform, and their gradient AI system is actually really nice. So when I made my new agent here, I gave it instructions and everything. This is kind of all walked through when you deploy it and get the settings. But then you just get like this URL here, which is just like a big long string. And, oh. Well, sometimes your computer does things that make it confusing. Yay, it's back. What happened there, in case you're wondering, I have this lovely monitor that, at around like the 10-minute mark after being on, it turns off once. I don't know why. It doesn't turn off again, but like on first boot, it just decides around 10 minutes, I'm gonna turn off. And unfortunately for me, this monitor is also like a KVM, so everything's plugged into it, so very, very briefly does everything cut out. So lovely. Love this monitor. It's a great monitor. I don't know why it breaks. It breaks on my laptop, it breaks on my desktop. Anyway, so we get an endpoint here, and this endpoint is literally just a URL that we can then go make requests to, and talk with our AI agent. So if I go here, you can see we have a post request. I have that URL, and then we send it over to chat completions. We then give it our token, so we need it to go over to, I believe it's settings access. Yes, endpoint access. You make a key there. You then provide that. Key here. I'm not going to open up my environment file because then you're going to all find my key, and then I'm going to wake up and you're going to spend all $200 of my DigitalOcean credit, and I'll have to become a different person and make a brand new account, and no one would like that. And then basically I go through and I throw in my requests, so I have my first and second item. I dump that in here, and it knows exactly what to do with it. And those are two different ways that we set up the endpoint. I may as well show it. I will say, so we're using Fast API for this. I did say during my stream yesterday, I had not used Fast API before. And I did not know that this was a thing, and this is why people should use it. I do /API combine here. We're just gonna go ahead and do this real quick. And if I go to, we're gonna go open to that URL there, and I'm gonna go to /docs, I think. Yeah! It builds out your documentation for you. And more importantly, I can then try out things. If you were around yesterday, I am so sorry that I just literally had, requests in a window that I was making. Oh my gosh, it was so bad. Yeah. By the way, Paul, your hair is cool. What's your hair care routine? Lovely question. So, hair here. I have shampoo and conditioner that's color safe that I put in it. And I use a salt spray. Also today, it was very windy. And so that caused lots of problems, but that's fine. The windswept look certainly helped, especially with the salt spray. But yeah, that's my hair care routine. I do not bleach my own hair. I have my friend that is a stylist do that, but I do dye it myself because I don't have money to be dyeing my hair once a month. I do get it professionally bleached though, because I do not trust myself to not properly boil my scalp. Okay, so we can type in here and play around with this. Let's say first string is Python, second string is JavaScript, which is what we were testing out with yesterday. And if we execute this, we can see we got a new item, Brython. Is that a real thing? It is. Other thing we did yesterday was we learned a lot of different implementations of combinations of Python and JavaScript, because that was the example I was using frequently enough. Kind of cursed. I wonder, shout out anyone in chat use Brython in the day-to-day. There's a Brython console? Oh my. Okay. Maybe this little like maybe this is like the ooh idea. What if we also have it return maybe like a URL to like the library? That might be kind of fun. Like if it's like a library or like some documentation. So that way you combine two things and you're like, huh, what's that? And then you go click it. I'll put that on the back burner. Maybe combine to maybe provide a document link if things work. Maybe a document link for newly combined things. It's generic, but it's okay. It's supposed to replace JavaScript. I highly doubt that it would actually replace JavaScript, but yikes. Fascinating. It doesn't seem to have a lot of adoption. Browser Python is what it stands for. You know, maybe I'm selling this too short. Maybe there is a bit of knowledge to it. Anyway, anybody else have a combination they'd like me to chuck in here and try out? We can also do like NumPy plus pandas. What does that get you? Dask. Is it a graphing library? Dask is an open source library for parallel distributed computing. Oh, neat. I think every day welcome GHW email is a bit glitched because I got mailed 3 times containing the same message. You might, in fact, be in the system 3 different times with 3 different accounts. I have no clue. I would go make a ticket over on the Discord. That's probably your best way to document it and then have somebody who's on the engineering team take a look at it. But otherwise, I'm not sure. By the way, I followed the link and signed up, add a credit card, and add a card, but no credit. I am not entirely certain. I am unfortunately not DigitalOcean support. But all I know is when I went to like that exact process here, clicked this link, created a new account, and chucked the card at it, it worked for me. Yeah, it's one of those weird things. Yeah, open up a ticket, and that might be able. Somebody specifically, it would probably be Rosendo, but shout out to Ro, who helps me with all my partner activation issues. At the same email address at the same time. That's strange. I do not get those emails, so I have not encountered that. But yeah. And soap and music. Yes. All right, so let's get back on track. I feel like I'm getting super sidetracked right now. We can get even more to sidetracked, actually. Art plus robot, Android, sculpture, statue. Damn. All right. So one of the things that I wanted to do today is have better ways to pre-combine our items. So right now, our cache of items. We don't want basically we don't want to end up in a scenario where we're combining two items that have already been combined and making more API calls every single time we want to do this. So for example, we can see here that does it show me the timing of this? Content length, no. Well, maybe it'll show me in the network analyzer. So if I execute this, well, let's do a new one here. AstroPy and matplotlib. Execute. You can see that took 767 milliseconds to execute because it had to go and make that request, calculate or figure out what the combination of those two are. What is it? Bokeh. It's a good plotting language. Shout out to, I feel like I'm shouting out a bunch of things at this point. Bokeh library Python. If you don't want all your graphs to look the same as everyone else's, Bokeh is really pretty and helps you make graphs that look unique. I have a graphic design and science background, so I like my posters at conferences to look different. So if we run this again, though, you'll see, boom, it only took 2 milliseconds. This is because we didn't need to go make an API call. We're just caching the request here. So let's see. We have some key, which is literally the first thing plus the second thing. We kept it simple. And then we see if that's in our cache. And the cache is literally just a dictionary. But we can do so much better because if I, let's say, refresh this, I make some change to my system, blah, 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 I save, and I reload it. Now if I go make this API call again, it's going to take that 780 seconds again because it forgot everything that it just did, which makes sense because we just killed the server and restarted it. So we want some sort of persistent memory. So we already have stuff in DigitalOcean, so why don't we search around and figure out, hey, do you have like a database that I can just... Oh, the database. Okay, cool. I wish this was a button. This looks like it should be a button that I go click, and then it creates a button for me. But, no. It takes me to the database section, but no, of course not. Alrighty. Create a database cluster. What do I want? I want just a simple Postgres database. Kinda. Yeah, I just want a simple Postgres database. The most basic possible one, $13 a month seems fine. I have $200 that I'm going to use exclusively on this here. I don't think I'm going to use more than 10 gigabytes. New York seems fine to me. Cool. Yippee. Okay. So that's going to spin up and create a database for me. Okay, let's see. I could just go and implement it, but I want to go look at the documentation. All right, security database cluster. Databases open incoming connections by default. We recommend protecting your database by only allowing inbound connections from trusted sources. Only specified networks will have access to the, and other connections will be denied. Sure. Wait, I want to actually go do that. Network access. Yeah, it's still provisioning. So while it's provisioning stuff, you know what we're gonna do? Zeus. Artificial intelligence plus Zeus. Skynet. I feel like we're getting close to hackathon. Yeah. I feel like I need like education. We'll get there eventually. Here, we'll do this. While that's provisioning, we'll be over here on this half of the screen, figuring out how to create stuff. Grilled cheese. I don't understand how grilled cheese and artificial intelligence is a sandwich, but sure. So I know about the Google Arcade program? Not in the slightest. Oh, they're a hackathon program. Cool. I did not know about that. Terminator. Golem. Robot. Alrighty. Well, I guess we can set up our stuff for Postgres in the meantime. So why don't we go ahead and add our Postgres stuff. I'm going to just have... I'm just going to pull up Copilot here and go pull up... Do I have a URL already? I do. I also have a password that I need to update. I feel like I need to pull this on another monitor. One moment. Behind the scenes monitor. Believe it or not, I would not like you to have the username and password to my database. Okay. Excuse me while I grab that, pull that down here. Oh gosh. I've done terrible things to my computer, and it is... I am now paying the price for it. Alright. The Postgres URL equals... Apologies for the silence as I quickly at host. All right, I think I've pulled up everything I need to set up that database. Let's pull up StreamYard again so I can monitor chat. But yeah, no, I haven't heard about the Google Arcade program. Oh, neat. It's like a practice as you go, building Google Cloud skills. That's cool. Is it like to build games and everything? Alright. I think our stuff has been provisioned. Let's look at network assets. No, I don't want to just... I don't want that. It's just running on my home computer. But eventually we can connect this to a specific droplet, because we'll host the game on a droplet, and then go from there. Connection details. Oh, there was a copy button here this whole time? Man. I've been out here. I was out here playing with stuff, getting it. All sorts of... Okay. Saved. Cool. Continue. And then migrating database. Okay, great. I'm done. Alrighty. Now let's get this thing connected. Where is my thing? It's been a while since I've done this, so I'm going to pull up that there. I have too many monitors and everything is just becoming a mess. I'm gonna go into planning mode because I'd like to figure out what I'm doing first. I just created a new environment variable do postgres URL for access to my Postgres server. Can you replace the cache with an actual persistent storage or database? Yep. And let's see, is it gonna leak my API screen keys online? Well, that's running. Let me go back here. AI house gets you robot. AI Frankenstein. Robot. Robot. Normalize order. Yeah. If is missing a DB or unreachable to startup, how should we start anyway? Fail fast. Fails during request. Should the API still call the engine and will it result without crashing? No. We want it to crash. Cool. Chess. AI chess. Checkmate. House robot. Terminator. House Terminator. Home Alone. Home Alone robot. Wally. Wally checkmate. Chess. Let's take a look at the plan here. Steps. Add Postgres to my requirements. That makes sense. Add the database bootstrap. Create engine, verify connectivity engine, ensure the combination stable exists within you. We will need to make the combination stable. Define normalized key behavior. Replace cache logic. Replace that. Yeah. Looks like a good plan to me. So we're going to start that implementation, and then we can kind of look at what it's doing and learn from it. I guess I usually use MongoDB for most things. I think I just wanted to try something new with Postgres, but yeah. Well, we're thinking in agent mode. Does not have my... No, it is. Okay. Lightning chess. Checkmate. Thunder chess? Is it? Okay, so we're updating the requirements. We need SQL Alchemy and Sci-Cop G2 binaries. Yes, that's fine. Ocean. I'm surprised that isn't like Poseidon. Actually, it was probably like Zeus Ocean. Yeah. I feel like I need like school or something. Install packages. Yeah, of course. Oh, it's currently running. That's probably why it's upset. Yeah. Oh, it wants the pylons. That makes sense. Can I? Does it not have pylons? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. Run the API and test 2 calls. All right. Initialize database. Okay, so normalize pair, it normalizes it. Well, let's go from the top. So it did a bunch of imports. It created a new table of combinations and some metadata. Normalize pair, it wants to normalize what is the first and second object, which makes sense, which case folds does all that. Make a cache key, which is just going to be left and right. We initialize the database. We get the URL, database connection, select one, metadata.create all, DB engine. Okay. Get cached results. So if we're not logged in, then we can't do anything. Saved cache results. Looks good to me. And then we add it here. On startup, try initialize database. And then try cache result. If cache result is not none, cache was hit. We have a result, and then we return that result. Okay, let's give it a go. That's mad at me for something. Could not parse SQL out of me from a given URL string. Oh boy, the URL string I gave it is probably wrong. Well, that's annoying because I need to pull that down to my other monitor because that has like the password and everything. So, one moment. No, that'll do it. I think I accidentally line wrapped it. Let me test it before I... One moment. Yep, it has the port there. Let me do this real quick. Connection troubleshooting. Sorry, folks. Oh, that'll do it. I forgot the Postgres SQL, like header part. Let's put that there. Save, run again. Okay, it's working. All right, we're back in business. Close environment file. All right. How do we use knowledge bases to ensure the NPC doesn't hallucinate or forget the history of the game world that we've built? So, that's not necessarily something we need in our version of it, but if you're curious about it, if you go over to the agent platform and you go to workshop or this place, agents, you can actually link it to a knowledge base. So, where is it? Create your about knowledge bases, attach knowledge bases. So you can create a knowledge base over on the agent platform. Where is it? Knowledge bases. Create knowledge base. And this is essentially where you would upload files or any sort of like resource that you would like it to use. You can even link it to like whatchamacallit, like a Dropbox folder or something like that. And then it's able to pull stuff from that information, which is pretty neat. By the way, are there bonus swags that we can get by checking the lab events? There are, but those are usually reserved for people much cooler than me giving presentations. I do not have any bonus swags to give you, but I do have hair advice, apparently. Hair care advice. All right. ADHD brain, where were we? Oh yes, testing this. Okay. I think it's gonna crash because I didn't actually set up a Okay. And let's see what happens when we cache it now. Is it cached? It is cached. Oh hey. Hey, did it just work? Oh, it just worked. Okay, cool. Can I see all my combinations in my database now? If I go over to databases. I mean, it was a very simple database. Like, it didn't have to be all that complicated. Yep, default DB. There. Network access, or can I get logs? Yeah. Connections. I reset those stats there. And then I ping it again. I mean, it's certainly reaching out to the database because that time is increasing. Where that time is not just 2 milliseconds. If it was 2 milliseconds, we'd know that it's just looking at the caching. Yeah, I know. I'm honestly impressed that it worked first time too. I'm talking about the swags, which the email said about. It was check in 4 or more live events to get bonus swags. Oh yes, the check-in link for this particular workshop. I'll go post it in chat again. Is this one. That's the link for this particular workshop. So by being here, that counts as one of the 4 live events that you can check in for and get bonus points for. I don't know what the bonus swag is, though. It's typically... So if you go ghw.mlh.io, swag. it's typically extra stickers and like a bunch of cool stuff with that. We have to ship these all over the world, so it's kind of difficult to get them everywhere. But we do try our best to have like exclusive stickers for people that are really active throughout GHW and checking out stuff. Okay, so we have that implemented here, but I do want to make a couple different tweaks here, because I do think that we kind of missed the mark in terms of what it means for two items to get put together. We have a list of combinations, but we also probably want a list of items instead of the combinations being standalone objects within the world. Because, for example, when we're playing here, we just saw, like, there's a billion different ways for you to get Skynet. For example, like Firebird plus Sandwich gives you Phoenix, Phoenix Robot, Cyborg, Robot Volcano, Cybertron. Okay, maybe I'm not getting Skynet now. We're getting Optimus Prime, a Transformer. Okay, we're just making tons of progress. But, there's, like, a bunch of different ways for you to create some of these. Like, Chessbot. Android plus Chessbot is Checkmate. We've hit Checkmate in a bunch of different ways. Checkmate, Skynet, Terminator. Yeah. There's nothing unique about this. And notice the game like makes a little like ping sound when you combine two things. And it's something that you haven't seen before. Well, we want that too. So we would like to edit our system and make it a little more dynamic. So I'm gonna go, let's not make that bigger. Let's keep it this side. Okay, let's make a change to how our caching system works. I'm gonna put this back into plan mode because we would like to make updates to all of this. But actually first, I'm gonna go commit all these changes just because in case things break, I'd like to be able to have it on GitHub so that we can go back to it. Working combination, simple combinations. Database caching. Boop. Some change. We should have two tables. One for items and one for objects. And one for combinations. When a user provides the names of two objects, the endpoint should still take two objects, but how do we want to do this? Because like right now we're just testing things with us throwing stuff together. But no, well, okay. We just want to take two objects or two names, but well. So right now, what I'm thinking about is this. Right now, we're just chucking in two different items into the stream or into the endpoint and then creating an object, which works. But for like an actual game implementation of this, each one of those objects that we are throwing in there should already, in theory, be in our database of objects, because the only way that they would exist would be if somebody created them initially, or they're one of the initial six data types that we're working with. So we want to be able to have when the endpoint is hit, we should check it. We should look up both objects in the table, both names, the objects table. And I just realized my music stopped. All right, we're gonna put on more comfy music. Endpoint is hit. We should look up both names in the objects table and then use those to use those two to to look up the combination of those two names in the combinations table. This lets, if the object is not in the combo table, then after the Gen AI model creates the object, we should store both the object and the combination recipe in the combo table, or in the database. There should be an, we're gonna go by default, if the objects are not in the objects table, we should return an error, but provide a flag to override this for testing. Okay, big commands here, but the whole idea here is simple. We don't want to be able to, we want these to be tracked, essentially. And if they're not tracked, then we don't know where they are in the system. We have a set of seeded objects that we're going to have in our object table, and those are going to be the 6 different base elements: int, float, double, jar, bool, and void. And now we want to be able to store both objects that have been created, so that way we can have a nice little table of all the objects that we have to play with, as well as another table that keeps track of all of the different combinations that have been made between them. So that way when you do Firebird Tornado and you get Phoenix again, you can also get Phoenix from, I don't know, one of the billion other ways that Phoenix has been, that we found Phoenix. What is time? Sort by time. Oh, sort. Interesting. I guess that makes sense. If the input name is missing from the objects table, 400 bad request. What should we override query be called? Allow unknown inputs. Should we seed the 6 base elements of the objects table so that way they are understandably? Yes, we should. Okay, cool. I love this planning mode. It does, in fact, make my life a lot easier because it does ask very valid questions. Okay. How are we doing on time? About an hour in. Not bad. Alrighty. Well, that's running. We're gonna do our best here to get to hackathon. Is it building the project? Is it building the project, or oh, it's mad at me for something? That's just Discord. Created some to-dos. What are the to-dos we got? Will it show me the to-dos? I know it should. Refactor DB schema, seed database objects, update combine flow, document new API behavior, and run validation checks. Alright. Wally. Optimus Prime Cyborg. How do you get, like, hacker? I love these, like, ads on the bottom that me being in guest mode without any ad block or anything is just giving us all sorts of ads. We got Transformers 4? What is, like, 5? Oh my gosh, here we go. Transformers 13 plus AI gives us... And you see how, like, not snappy these requests are? This is definitely forcing it to go and ask its combination of things. Hey, does this exist? Transformers 14. Because nobody has gone through and said, what does Chessbot plus Transformers 14 equal? No, it equals Chessbot again. We also might need to put on some guardrails to have it limit to what objects already exist within the system, which might be a knowledge base, actually. Actually, yeah, no, that could be a knowledge base where we link it to the knowledge base. It's able to then see what the objects already exist and then go from there to help keep it from just hallucinating random objects. Maybe you were right. No, I see why you were asking. To ensure an NPC doesn't hallucinate, forget the history of the game world we built. I thought you were just talking about, like, generalized, like, building, like, a video game. But, like, no, it still applies in this area, too. Because then it could be like, hey, refer to your base of objects and to pick out things. But if you deem that the combination is novel, come up with a new thing. All right, let's take a look. So we added a couple different things. That makes sense. We needed foreign keys. So we have a new table here. ID, name, emoji, created at, and created upon. We then, first object ID, second object ID, result object ID. Unique constraint. Love that for integer. Love that for float. For that. For car, for bool, and for void. That all looks good to me. I will need to go blow my nose in a moment. Let's take a look. Get database engine. Normalize pair, left to right. First object ID is greater than the second object ID. Makes sense. And then get default emoji. Okay. Let's see. Get cached result. Okay. So let's see what get cached result is. Oh, we have to do some migrations too. Okay, cool. Initialize database. Migrate legacy combinations if necessary. Yeah. Get object by name. Ensure objects. It's upset about some imports, I guess. Which is fine. Saved cache results, persist combination results, keep. Alright. Postgres object combination initialized successfully. Cool. So we'll look out for those loggers. And then Gemini allow unknown things. Alright. Cool. It even checked off those for me. Alright. Oh, it's checking my environment variables in my README? It's lovely. Hey, it even updated my ideas. Love that. All right, cool. So let's save and restart. Let me go over here. Let's go execute these two. See what it says. create a new API endpoint to clear the database and start from scratch with just the initial values. Let's do that. Love a little helper here, so just fix that, because it was able to pull that, but that was also because AstroPi plus matplotlib already existed, because it did the migrations and everything. Alright. API reset. Cool. It's fine. Alright, let's go back to that documentation for our API. Reset, try it out, execute. Cool. Deleted everything, and now let's go try this out again. We would like to do AstroPi and what else have I been using of late? Spectral Q, my favorites. If I do false, it should throw an error. Unknown objects AstroPi, it throws a 400 error. That makes sense. Let's execute it with true. Spectral AstroPi, that makes sense to me. I'm curious now, what is the behavior when we pass it the allow unknown inputs? Resolve input objects. If first object is none. Names and not allow unknown inputs. Makes sense to do that. Let's follow this. Because it shouldn't, in theory, be able to write the result, because it doesn't have IDs of those left and right objects, right? Combination result. Combinations. Is it gonna run it every time? That's very fast. Okay. We're gonna just if allowed, if not allowed, I'm just gonna do that there. It's not defined. Oh wait. Oopsies. I'm in the wrong place. This is what happens when you start editing bad coded nonsense and don't actually look at what you're doing. Database right failure pair. So, greatly appreciate your guidance on how to get started, including recommendations on suitable game engines, learning resources, and want to build in Metro game where people can fight. I don't really have, I guess, game building knowledge. I understand the stream, it says like building a game in this, but we're actually just kind of building like fun little browser games, not really building game engine games. That said, I know that Godot is a particularly accessible engine for getting started with this sort of thing. So I would primarily look at, building tutorials in Godot. A great way to get started with a lot of different things is to try and rebuilding games that you like playing. So if you like fighting games, then try think of the simplest fighting game that you can put together and go from there and try and build something out with that. Can you sell it offline guilding? I am not sure what your question is. Anyway. So combine, so generating result for this, combines result equals persistent combination results. Not. Do it this way. I realized me trying to edit this, while I could, it's much faster for me to just be like, make it so that when is flagged, we don't store the combination. Actually, I'm gonna ask it. Why don't we use the ask functionality? When is flagged, what happens in the database? What happens in the database given the given objects do not have IDs? Let's see what it does. When it's true, the unknown inputs are inserted into the object table first. That's how they get their IDs. Oh. I guess that makes sense. It opens up a database transaction, and... okay. I'm gonna quickly have it create a few more test endpoints for getting all objects in a database, or in the database, and another one that provides all known recipes. See, I can't spell. Whatever. I'm gonna add those into the system here as well. Just that way we can get a better idea about what's going on in the back end as we're playing around with this. And while it's doing that, we're gonna go straight on back to... okay, I need, education. Education... it's gonna be house plus cloud. No, castle. House electricity. House lightning's Frankenstein. I just really want to make Hackathon. Maybe this is a 3-part series, so maybe by part 3 we'll go ahead and do that. All right. We're refactoring all that. Actually, what are we? Oh, yeah. Well, while that's running, I'm gonna go take a quick break because I need to go blow my nose. In the meantime, if you are over at Infinite Craft and you are playing around with it, go ahead and tell me what your favorite combination is, and if you get close to building Hackathon, let me know. Give me a tutorial on how to get Hackathon as we are putting this all together. But I will be right back because my nose is dying. Hello, hello. I am back and feeling significantly better. Was anybody able to get close to Hackathon? I doubt it. I didn't give you all much time. Okay. So, let's take a look at the endpoints that we made. Oh. Go ahead and make those changes. I forgot we're in read mode. Ask mode. Okay. Well, while that's going again, I suppose, I will be attempting this. House plus house, so town. Town pottery. It's a vase. Town monster. Town Wally. Town Optimus Prime? That's Transformers. We got Transformers 1 at least. Alright. I should really allow all next time. Town barbecue. Meat Town. Okay. House. Cage. Prison. Prison plus prison is jail. Jail in Meat Town is prison. Alright. Cool. Alright, so we got a couple more endpoints here. Looks like we've set up the server. I'm also gonna just refactor my code base into multiple files to make it more. Right now, this giant main.py file is a mess. Also, feel free to remove the legacy, what's the word? Migration? We won't be needing that. Alrighty. We will get there. We will find, I guess while this is running, we can start thinking about how we want to build out the UI. I like this UI, but I don't want to just, like, straight up copy it. Huh? Is it just... Yeah, but I like the UI, but I don't want to just like straight up copy it. Well, actually, maybe we start with copying it and then going from there to playing around with stuff and figuring out how we want to make it different. I do like the idea of like you click on like a library, and if it has a URL, you're able to then identify, like learn more about this thing. Because one of the fun things that we've been doing is like, I'll type in, combine these two things, and I'm like, is Spectral AstroPi a library? No, it's a part of the AstroPi library. It's the Spectral library. I'm also curious if it's gonna like hallucinate made-up libraries too, because I'm sure it will. But that might be something we figure out along the way. And that's not to say the original game didn't either. Like, Transformers 14 honestly might be a thing. Now that I think about it, like, what number Transformers are we on? Transformer movie. There are 8. So, Transformers 14 isn't all that far off in the grand scheme of things. We're doing a pretty major refactor here, so it's going to take a little bit. And that's mainly because we started off with just like a proof of concept test in this main.py, and it's grown grossly out of control. This commit's going to be a bunch of different things. So let's take a look at actually what our structure is. Please, for the love of God, like, move. Also, always allow this workspace. Thank you. Okay. And we refactor this further into folders for the different, into logical folders. I just also want to make this cleaner to play with, because it's getting rather messy, and seeing all my files just kind of there is stressing me out. So I've been trying to like scroll through the main file to figure out how is this implemented, and that's just like a nightmare. So, valid concern. While it's thinking, we're gonna be building barbecue. No, where's town again? Town. I want like town. No, town castle is a city. City mountain volcano. How much a city? City town. Metropolis. Like. Town, city, metropolis is like gonna be a mega city or something. Megapolis. Okay. Phoenix town gives us Phoenix again, but probably the city of Phoenix, but make it. Oh. Yeah. Alright. We're refactoring stuff. Once I get like a restaurant, I'm like trying to get like things within a city. So like Puddle City. Like I'm thinking like town restaurant. Town cyborg. Town plus artificial intelligence. What's like the hotkey to duplicate? Oh, hey, look, they do have a recipes functionality. That's neat. We got Elon Musk, barbecue, SpaceX, artificial intelligence. Yeah. Thank you. I don't understand why this is taking so long. I also think it's just running on my local machine, which might be why. That's fine. Hello, upstairs neighbors. How are you? really are just... I feel like I've given it an impossible task to move things into folders. Refactor this quickly. That's the coil. That's the coil. AI. Skynet. Lightning. You know, so there are some things that I feel like AI is particularly good at doing quickly. And then other times I'm like, man, I probably could have just refactored this myself. I'm taking a little bit less time. Like, I just need to, you know, there's a refactor button. You just click that. And you're just like, oh, I'm moving this over here. Refactor this for me. It does make your life a little bit easier. Tesla Tower. Tesla Tower. Nah. It's like a whole building of Tesla coil, ready to explode and burn down a megapolis. I feel like we just got so much cyclical logic here. Please delete all the root level ones. Yes, you can remove things. I believe in you. Okay, much cleaner. Thank you. Alright, and does everything still work? Let's find out. Alright. Ooh. Pretty. Let's close that. I don't know why I still have that open. Okay. We can take a look here. I'm gonna refresh this. Yay! So we can combine stuff, we get the combination of something. Try it out, execute, what are our objects? We have a couple different things. I am gonna very quickly nuke the database. Destroy it all. Yay. So now if we get the objects, it should just have our 4 original objects, or sorry, our 6 original objects. Which makes sense. We have no recipes for anything. Well, let's try it out. Let's go int. We don't know what int is, but we can say what happens if we combine an integer with a float. Get to a double, and then when we redo it, you can see there. We can then say, give me all the recipes that have integer. We get one recipe, which is int plus float equals double. Nice. And we can now see, if we look at all the objects, double's now in there. What is it using for? Now I'm just curious. Now I know where to look. And primary key. Okay, yeah, it's just the primary key. Auto increments true. So when we nuke the database, reset database, delete combinations, row count. Yeah. Resolve input options. Okay, cool. Just leave that there. Actually, we can delete that for now. This was us testing DigitalOcean when we first weren't sure, so we just followed the tutorial on how to interact with our AI agent. Okay, I feel like we're kind of in the weeds at this point with playing around with stuff. So why don't we take a step back here, and I'm going to, let's see. This is going to be our back end for Infinite Craft. I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to make an API. We're going to just drag a lot of this stuff. Into this API folder here, including the venv, I suppose. Although having that in the root does make things nice for us. Well, I'm gonna do it this way, actually. Zoom in a bunch so that way y'all can see. Okay. Yeah, that one. The one in there. I'm just gonna verify that this still works. Oh, wait. Huh? No, no. Okay. Ignore all of... Oh, no. My Python install on my MacBook is rather broken. So, we're just gonna do... We're gonna... Okay, that works. Do you know that one, like, xkcd python install? Oh, no. This is my current Python environment. It looks like this. Yeah, it's a problem. I should fix it. I genuinely should fix it. I will get to that eventually. Maybe that'll be a stream. Unmangling Paul's Python environment on his laptop. That sounds terrifying. I don't know why I mean, I know why my Python environment's a mess, and that's because I just have never gotten around to fixing it. What? What does this mean? Why? I suppose I was like, why is it doing that? Well, I guess ask that question. So that's our backend. I think we're primarily done with our backend. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna make a new thing here. That opened up down there. That opened up down there. Don't ask why I'm using Python 3.9.7 either. Huh? Again, deeply cursed. Truly and deeply cursed. Fun MLH behind the scenes fact. when we go to in-person events, we typically do like a little test of all the demos that we're going to do for like all the workshops that we want to give like in person and that sort of stuff. And one of the other coaches that I work with, I pair with to test these things, has said that my laptop is one of the most cursed things that he's ever seen. And he's honestly surprised that any of my Python environments work in any way, shape, or form. Shout out to Kev, if Kev's around, for putting up with my computer and all the nonsense it provides. All right, so now we're gonna start here. Make a new chat here. I'm gonna make a new folder. Web. I'm not gonna call it Uppercase Web. Okay. All right. So we have another half an hour before the next stream hits. So I'm gonna try and vibe code a very, 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 very quick example here of dragging two objects together and linking that to our API. So that way tomorrow can be us updating everything, deploying it on DigitalOcean. So that way we don't have to just have that database open to the public. We can have it open to specifically just the droplet that we give it access to. And then after all that's said and done, tweaking with it and having fun with it, and then calling it a day. So, I'm gonna do this, like, in the web directory, start a new project using Python and Flask to create a website that has the functionality of what would you call this? Like a sidebar? Of a sidebar to the right with a bunch of objects and a main canvas that has a main canvas where sidebar, toolbar, word bank, main sidebar, word bank. All right, with a bunch of objects, with a bunch of word, with a bunch of words. The main canvas where you can drag and combine two of those objects. All right. So we're gonna start working on that front end here and building that out. And while we're doing that, we can also start looking at, am I not logged in? I'm definitely logged in. How we want to host this. So we'd primarily want to host this on the app platform here, have existing code. We would then be able to deploy it, and we'll make it all nice and fancy so that way we can actually set up automatic deployments and that sort of stuff. But that'll be an issue for a later date. Yeah, sure. What are your memories? And I guess while that's building that out here, I'm gonna move it over here. What? I'm gonna move you over here so that way we can keep an eye on you while we play with this. Artificial intelligence sandwich. I feel like I'm just dragging the same two things together over and over again. It's hard to like, I mean, I think school plus something is the right like school plus. So we're making a template here. Is it running? Context window. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Just dumped everything all at once. Here, what's a better way of... Oops. I need a short readme with an extra run steps. That way you can launch the Flask app from the web folder immediately. Cool. All right. Okay. Well, let's test it, I guess. CD into web. Make a new virtual environment here while I'm at it. Actually, let's be consistent. Let's call this .venv if we're gonna keep it similar to the other one. Source. Wait. Oh no, I'm gonna have to do this. Okay. I promise I will fix. No, that's a lie. I'm not gonna fix my Python install on my next stream. I will do my best to mitigate my Python being pip 3. Yeah, an interpreter. This is me just flailing with my terrible Python install. Which Python? Yes, I have Miniforge. I understand that. Source that one. Which Python? Still not the right Python. Ugh. I know it's like an issue with my environment environment variables and Miniforge is being like appended to the front, so it's not actually sourcing this. Okay. Fine. Conda test or infinite craft. Okay, we're gonna do this real quick. So I know that this will work, and then I will figure this out after the stream because this has been long overdue of me fixing my terrible Python installation. I'm sure Kev is somewhere like punching the air. What do you I think I've fully cursed. How? Okay. I don't know what's up in my Python. I don't want to just install all these. Well, I mean, it's okay. It's literally just Flask. Okay. You know what? I think I'm pretty sure I have Flask installed locally. So I want to see what this looks like before we end the stream. All right. Let's take a look. Boop. 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 Combine stuff. Is it calling my backend endpoint? No, it's just adding something other. But that's a good start for us to be able to go from there. Now we get to combine the two. This seems like a good way to start off WordForge. Sick. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Sorry that we ended up with... Well, I guess we did fix the Python thing by just ignoring it. I probably won't just ignore it for later, but good to know. We'll get this all combined. I guess last thing to do now would be to commit all these changes here. Do not go blindly adding a bunch of stuff to your add to git ignore. I'm gonna add all .pyc files and is it star.pyc, and I want Alright, cool. We don't need all that stuff here. Please tell me I didn't already commit that stuff and it's all just kind of sitting in. And then no dot venv, please. Is that already on the GitHub repo? Was I bad? And I was about to say, you know, be good and don't just commit things haphazardly. When I did that yesterday? No, I didn't. Okay, good. So I saw like the 10 billion lines changed and immediately went, something's wrong there. Something's very wrong there. Database caching with new tables and front end prototype. Alrighty. Actually, before we do that, why don't we go back to our checklist from the start and verify and see what we've done. We've got sticks-based elements, pre-combined items for faster fetching. We haven't gotten to that part yet, but that might be fun for tomorrow. I think we got a backend pretty much built. Built on a nice snappy front end that lets you drag elements. We are yet to do that. We have like a test of it. And then host it on DigitalOcean's, that way we can play it. Alright, so tomorrow is going to be mostly front end and then deploying it, so that way we can I can share that with chat, we can put it together and have some fun with it. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining me. I had fun, I hope you all did too. I'm going to end, I think like 13 minutes, that's fine. Mainly because it gives breathing room for the next stream, which is going to be happening immediately following this stream at in 13 minutes, I suppose. I think it's... I want to say it's the Arduino one. I'm going to go look at the schedule. 1 second. Schedule. MQTT plus IoT with Python, which is honestly such a cool idea for a stream. There's a lot that you can do with... sorry, did it say Python or Arduino? Let me reread that. With Python. hardware. Yeah, so it is a hardware. Yes, it is a hardware thing. Very fun. MQTT is a phenomenal library or phenomenal framework for this sort of thing. So please go check that out. And finally, if you are looking for points for this stream, I've got a link here for you. Put that in chat again. Be sure to check that out and go and get your points for attending, because you are here and therefore you have earned things. And then finally, I also have a feedback form, which I forgot to share yesterday. But never fear. Let me go. Sorry, I got the hiccups. Ooh. Where is that feedback form? It's somewhere in my email. Well, I'll share it at the end of the 3-part series. That makes the most sense. But I'd love some feedback from all y'all that have tuned in and saw the streams. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I've been Paul. Bye-bye now.